These are 15 moments when Meghan Markle faced public snubs caught on camera. From royal family gatherings to big events, the Duchess of Sussex has had her share of awkward encounters that millions watched in real time. Some were small slights, others impossible to ignore. Each one made people talk about her place within the royal circle and celebrity world. Was she being left out on purpose, or were these just bad luck? Were the royals sending a message, or did the media make too much of it? Let's look at these uncomfortable moments that had everyone talking, because what you see might not be the whole story. One of the most talked about awkward moments happened at the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. Meghan and Harry arrived to take their seats, but what should have been a simple hello turned uncomfortable. As they moved down the row where other royals sat, there was a clear lack of acknowledgement. Body language experts analyzed every gesture and facial expression. Caught on camera, the tension was obvious, with almost no eye contact and what looked like forced politeness at best. This was one of the final official events before Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties. The atmosphere showed the cracks that had been building. The world watched as what should have been a display of family unity instead became a lesson in visible discomfort. Meghan's appearance at Wimbledon seemed like a perfect chance for good press, but it turned into another moment of criticism. She went with friends and sat in the royal box. But what happened next raised eyebrows. Security reportedly asked people not to take photos of Meghan. This struck many as strange since Wimbledon is one of the most photographed sporting events in the world. The incident made people debate whether this was reasonable privacy or going too far. Other spectators and tennis fans watching from home found it weird. Here was someone at a public sporting event, in a very public section, asking not to be photographed. Meanwhile, photographers captured every other celebrity and royal there. The awkwardness wasn't just about the photo rule. It was about how it made Meghan look regarding public life versus privacy. Trooping the Colour is a major event in the royal calendar. The balcony appearance at Buckingham Palace is the big moment where the family shows unity to the public, but Meghan's position, or absence in certain years, became a talking point. When she was included, viewers noticed she seemed to be placed further from the main family members. When she wasn't included after stepping back from duties, her absence was equally noticeable. The balcony is royal space where positioning matters. Every arrangement tells a story about rank and favor. Whether Meghan was being pushed to the edges on purpose or whether this was just protocol didn't matter. Viewers analyzed every photo looking for signs of rejection. The visuals alone created an awkward story. Princess Eugenie's wedding should have been a happy family occasion. Instead, it gave more material for uncomfortable moment videos. Lip readers claimed to decode conversations between Meghan and other royals that suggested tension. While we can't verify exactly what was said, the body language told its own story. There were moments where Meghan seemed to try to talk but got minimal responses. The interactions looked strained. Others in the family seemed to talk more naturally with each other, while Meghan stood somewhat apart. These weddings are highly planned events, yet they still allow for real human moments. Unfortunately for Meghan, those moments often looked less than warm. Whether this showed real problems or just the awkwardness of being fairly new to the family, the cameras caught it all. Remembrance Day is one of the most serious occasions in the British calendar. It honors those who died in military service. Meghan reportedly asked to join the Queen and other senior royals on the main balcony at the cenotaph, but was told no. Instead, she watched from a different balcony with other royal spouses. The rejection wasn't just about where she stood, it was about what that position meant. This was a clear message about rank and who belonged where in the royal order. Meghan was married to a prince who served in the military, but she wasn't given the same access as more senior royals. The photos showed her standing apart, watching the ceremony from a distance while others had better positions. It was a visual example of being kept at arm's length. The royal family's Christmas Day walk to church is a loved tradition where crowds gather to see them. When Meghan joined for the first time, there was excitement about how she'd fit into this casual public family moment, but footage from these walks showed awkward instances where Meghan seemed to walk alone or slightly behind. She didn't have the easy friendship visible between other family members. There were moments where conversations happened around her, but not with her. These walks are meant to look easy and natural, but when someone is being excluded even slightly, it shows. The body language of people on purpose not talking with someone in a group is obvious. Viewers picked up on it. Whether intentional or not, Meghan often looked like an outsider trying to find her place in an already close group. The Order of the Garter ceremony is one of the oldest honors in Britain. When Camilla was made a Royal Lady of the Order, it made headlines. What also made news was that Kate got the honor before Meghan, despite Meghan joining the family earlier. Royal experts pointed out that Meghan had never received this honor at all. This wasn't caught in a single camera moment. It was a longer pattern of recognition, or lack of it. The snub was in the absence, in the honors not given, in the positions not offered. When Kate walked in the ceremony, wearing the special robes, and Meghan was nowhere to be seen at these important events, it sent a clear message. It showed who was valued and who wasn't. These honors matter in royal circles. The deliberate passing over of one family member while promoting others is telling. Meghan attended the Fashion Awards while pregnant, and it should have been a winning appearance. She was there to present an award, looking great, and representing both her royal status and her interest in fashion. But she arrived alone, without Harry. The entrance felt awkward. Other royals typically arrive with support, with spouses or other family members. Meghan walked in solo to face the cameras and crowds. Once inside, there were moments captured where she sat relatively alone, without the warm interactions you'd expect at such an event. The Fashion Awards celebrate creativity and inclusion, but Meghan's experience there looked lonely. She presented her award professionally, but the overall feeling was of someone handling a major event without a support system. The cameras caught every moment of that isolation. The Royal Foundation Forum was meant to show the Fab Four working together. William, Kate, Harry, and Meghan were presenting a united front for their charity work. Instead, it became a study in uncomfortable group behavior. Body language between the two couples seemed strained. There were moments where responses felt short. Eye contact was avoided. The easy connection you'd expect from family members working together just wasn't there. Meghan's answers to questions were analyzed for any hint of problems. The overall atmosphere felt tense rather than cooperative. This was supposed to be about their shared mission and values. But what came across was four people who might not particularly enjoy being in the same room together. The professional smiles couldn't quite hide the underlying awkwardness that the cameras picked up. State banquets are carefully planned events where seating arrangements are thought out. Where you sit at these dinners signals your importance and standing. Meghan's placement at various state banquets became another source of discussion. She wasn't seated near the most important guests or in positions that would suggest she was a favored family member. Instead, she often found herself further down the table, away from the center of action and conversation. This might seem petty to outsiders, but in royal circles, these arrangements matter a lot. They're public displays of rank and favor. Being consistently placed in less important positions sends a message. Meghan received that message loud and clear. The snub wasn't in a single interaction. It was in the effect of being positioned as less important, event after event. The Sandringham Summit was the meeting where the royal family discussed Harry and Meghan's future. This happened after they announced their plan to step back. While the meeting itself was private, the aftermath gave plenty of awkward moments. Photos of Meghan leaving, the tight smiles, the formal statements that barely hid the family tension. All of it played out for public viewing. There were no warm goodbyes captured, no hugs, no signs of family members trying to fix relationships. Instead, it looked like a business deal gone wrong, with all parties going to their corners. The body language in every photo from this time told the story of a family at breaking point. Meghan was clearly at the center of that break. The cameras captured her departure from royal life. It looked every bit as uncomfortable as the fights that led to it. When Meghan and Harry introduced baby Archie to the world, they chose to do it differently than previous royal births. This decision itself became controversial. Many saw it as a snub to tradition and to the public, who expected a certain level of access. The photo call was brief, controlled, and didn't follow the usual format. While this wasn't a snub directed at Meghan, it positioned her as someone who wasn't following the established rules. This led to criticism and awkward press coverage. The way other royals reportedly reacted to this break with tradition, with silence or subtle disapproval, created its own kind of awkwardness. Meghan was trying to protect her child and keep some privacy, but the way it looked made it seem like she was rejecting royal customs. This didn't win her any favor with either the family or the public. Being given Frogmore Cottage as a home was presented as a gift, but many saw it as a way to create distance between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family. While not a single camera moment, the move to Frogmore represented a kind of geographical snub. It removed them from the center of royal life at Kensington Palace, where William and Kate stayed. The distance wasn't just physical, but symbolic. Every report about the renovation costs and the cottage's location added to the story that Meghan and Harry were being pushed to the margins. The awkwardness came from everyone pretending this was a kind gesture when the real meaning was clearly about separation. The photos of the cottage, set apart from the main royal homes, showed the growing split in the family. After Harry and Meghan's interview about their experiences in the royal family, the few times they appeared at the same events as other royals became very awkward. The Jubilee celebrations gave several such moments. There were no photos of warm reunions, no signs of making up, just carefully managed appearances where the different parties stayed in their designated areas. The body language was stiff, the interactions minimal. The overall atmosphere was one of forced politeness. These weren't moments of being actively snubbed so much as moments of everyone avoiding each other. But for Meghan, who had spoken about feeling isolated and unsupported, the continued distance only backed up her story. The cameras captured a family that might share blood and titles, but clearly wasn't sharing warmth or forgiveness. The coronation of King Charles was a historic moment, where everyone told a story about their place in the new reign. Harry attended, but Meghan didn't. Harry's seating position became a talking point. He wasn't in the front row with working royals. He wasn't positioned prominently. He was tucked away where cameras would barely catch him. While Meghan wasn't there to experience this directly, it showed the final proof of their outsider status. The family had literally reorganized itself with the Sussexes pushed to the edge. Every photo from the coronation showed the new order. It was clear that Harry and Meghan were no longer part of the inner circle. The awkwardness of Harry sitting alone, separated from his family at his father's coronation, symbolized everything that had gone wrong. These 15 moments paint a picture of someone who entered the royal family with high hopes and faced a reality far more complicated than the fairy tale the public expected. Were these deliberate snubs or unfortunate circumstances made bigger by constant watching? The truth probably lies somewhere in between. What's clear is that Meghan's experience in the spotlight was marked by visible discomfort, awkward interactions, and a growing sense that she didn't quite fit the role she'd been given. The cameras captured it all: every uncomfortable exchange, every cold shoulder, every moment of isolation. Whether you view Meghan as a victim of an unfair system or as someone who brought these difficulties on herself probably depends on where your feelings lie. But these moments happened, they were real, and they were clearly awkward for everyone involved. The royal family, for all its training and public appearances, couldn't hide the cracks that developed. Meghan bore the weight of that very public family dysfunction.